Hello, fellow mysticists. Today we are checking the card of strength, and I will record this directly after justice because, as I said, sometimes this one comes right after the chariot, and sometimes this is later in the deck. So let's see. Okay, so well, if you have a pet, you might be familiar with this picture. So this is like the owner is trying to check what the lion is chewing on, desperately wanting to get out whatever is in its mouth. And generally, this is symbolizing the strength of mind and virtue over the person's animalistic side. So, earlier decks, I think this might be the Tarot of Marsa, which I don't have, but several earlier decks was depicted a person breaking a pillar. So it was literally strength. And if you see the Visconti-Sforza one, this is like a very old dude beating up a lion. So yeah, there's not hidden meaning behind this. So you get the general idea. And it was sometimes a card of rebellion in this case. So if you see a deck with pillar breaking people, or usually just one man, this is literally the connection to the Bible story of Samson, who was, well, I think he was the strongest man on earth at that time, or maybe something like that, but he had supernatural strength and he was hiding or keeping all his strength in his hair. So when his wife was cheating him into a haircut, he lost all his stamina and all his power. But as he was slowly, I think the story went on like, as he was slowly gaining his strength back, he was maybe blinded at some point. Yeah, maybe his enemies was blinding him and leaving him out there. And when he was gaining his strength back, he was so strong again that he was able to break the pillars of the temple or that room he was in, and the whole building was collapsing on his enemies. So I think that was the general story. So um, in Alistair Crowley's deck, the Thought Tarot deck, this card is called Lust. And it's not a card of struggle between body and mind, but an advice on how to integrate our wishes into our life. So this is like the animus and the anima. So how you can balance these energies out. So we have checked the Visconti-Sforza, we have checked this Spirit Out card, but you see that this angelic maiden taming the beast, which sometimes have a very sexual energy, but other times it's literally just being, I don't know, well, it's about being in control and taming your inner beast and animalistic side. We will see that this is generally symbolism of most the cards here. So the Mugi is this little angelic mouse is taming this non-threatening cat and petting it, and it's really enjoying it. So, well, yes, this is the strength of mind and kindness over this very, very powerful and dangerous beast, or for the mouse at least. Okay, the Tarot of the Modern Image, you will see that sometimes this is the 8th card and sometimes this is the 11th card for the switch of justice and strength. So in the Modern Witch Tarot, this very, very good looking woman is taming a lion, but it looks like a huge dog. Or I don't know this. The face it makes, it's like a giant, It's like a giant shepherd dog or something like that, because they have the same look on their faces. They are huge, but they are not threatening. So, but we cannot take this strength away from this woman because, well, altogether this is a lion. But this lion is very tame. It's completely tamed. So you don't see the struggle. You just spit it out. Strength card. You don't see the struggle. The animal deck is, this is a stag, and you get the general idea that this is power more than physical strength. It's very regal, very commanding. So this is, it's more about willpower, I think, than physical strength. Of course, the stag could beat you up pretty heavily, even to death if it wants to, but this feels like more about willpower. Okay, the Egyptian deck is going with the spit it out depiction of the card. I'm trying to find out if this is a lion or a sphinx in some way, or just a pet that has some clothes on for fun or aesthetic. I don't know, but I'm trying to see the crown of this woman because she has several figures on her head. Sorry for I'm with the dog at the moment. Okay, so you see the viper here, the vulture, another snake. It's like she is holding all the strengths and she has the literal power physically and symbolically over this lion or sphinx. Let's see the hashtag, which is, this is similar to the chariot maybe, because this fairy here is broken or breaking down, and it feels like that she is commanding several moths and bats to help her tie her up. So this is the strength of rebuilding yourself, rebuilding your life, taking control over events and circumstances, I think. But she is commanding the beasts. Oftentimes bats are seen as these very, I don't know, dangerous beasts, and well, moths are not the most beautiful of the butterflies out there, but if we consider them beasts, then she controls them. She controls the not so pretty or the not aesthetically pleasing ones, and she is rebuilding herself. Let's see Lunalapin, which is, well, you can see that this, I think this is the first lion or beast here that is actually scary. There is something about this that it actually feels scary. So if this one is kneeling down to you or looking at you, that you can feel the fear of this, but this rabbit is not afraid. It's controlling. It's literally making this lion kneel to him. So this is also about willpower and being the one in control. But you can sense this established very dangerous situation more than in the other cards. Okay, let's see this one first, the prism, because this is similar. So this is a pack of lions actually. So this is a pack of very mini lions, because if you can see, this figure here is a person controlling them, and this is like commanding them to attack maybe, or just roar, or I don't know, introducing his power over this pack, or this is like a whole field, and this looks like these lions are, well, is there a flower in English that is called lion's head or lion head? This big yellow puffy flowers. Maybe this one's it. But in this case, if this is the flower I'm thinking about, and it is called lion heads or lion's heads, then this is the one that is becoming the ones that you blow out into the four directions of the wind and make a wish. And in this case, this is the intuition and willpower you set into your world and sending it out. Yeah, maybe this is it. Then this is a genius card. Yeah, this is nice. Very nice. Okay, let's see this one. This is the Tarot of the Divine. And where you see that this person here is taming an alligator, lion, bear. I'm trying to remember the story. I think this must be a Scottish story. Is it Tamlin? Maybe it's Tamlin. I think it is. So the story, if this is it, the story is about, I think the man. Yes, the man is called Tamlin, and he is a prisoner in the fairy world. And every time he is living in a forest, and every time someone enters his forest, he claims something from these people. So if usually in these stories, if it is a woman, he claims a night with them, or claims their virginity altogether, or claims physical evidence from them, or something like that. And one time, a woman came to the forest and took a flower, or something like this. It took something from the forest, and he confronted her, and it turned out that later this woman became pregnant. So she was really upset, of course, and went back to the forest to either give her baby to Tamlin, or take some poisonous flowers that she can have an abortion with, or something like this. It depends on the version, but this was like the second time she met Tamlin, because Tamlin, of course, showed up and asked her what she wanted and why she was taking anything from his forest. And she said that she's pregnant and she didn't want this child, or they had to do something about it. And it turned out that Tamlin was a human person and not a fairy after all, but he was a prisoner of the fairies, and he was very afraid that he will be taken as a sacrifice to hell or something like that. And he said that when the fairies are parading their potential sacrifices around, this woman should not abduct her, but take her from the fairies, and she had to tame several beasts. So it looked like, I think it started that Tamlin was first appeared as a white horse, but something stood out with him, and he told all the signs to her how she will be able to recognize him. So let's say that he was a very recognizable horse. So this woman took him out of the pack, but he had to make it look real. So he was fighting with her, he was turning into several beasts, and she had to tame them one by one, until the queen or king of the fairies that was leading them surrendered and said that she can bring Tamlin home with her, and I think they had a happily ever after. But this was a weird story. So a knocked up girl and an abducted person. So with PTSD perhaps. But that's a good story. I think this is the card about it. Okay, let's see the Anima Mundi, which I think we call this the elephant bug. I think. Why is it strength? Because on one hand it looks like a scarab, but it's not. But I think this is a type of insect that can carry the weight of its several times its own weight. And this is a very strong and I think for a rhino bug or something like that. And they are fighting. They are always fighting for the females, and I think there are several tribes and groups that are actually making championships about this. I think I saw something about this. Yeah, but these are insects that are fighting for dominance and fighting for the females in the group or in the area. And I think this is why this one is the strength card. And let's see the oak, ash, and thorn tarot, and this strength is about being wise and being the leader of the group. You see that this badger is surrounded by several animals. It has its own little laurel and the infinity sign on its forehead, and the squirrel and this bird and the snake. No, it's sorry, but these are bunnies here. Maybe a snail, but this badger is stepping on the snake that was about to attack, maybe. But yes, this is about physical strength. This is about command and being a sage. So this is a leader in every way possible. It's really chill about it. So there's a snake attack, and it's like, please don't. Please stop doing that. Yeah, it's very commanding, but this is a leader in every way. Okay, so this was the part for the minors. If you are a minor, please, you can click or close this video and see you at the next one. If you are an adult, let's go on with the remaining adult decks. Okay, so this is the tarot with the tarot vampire. I think this is very straightforward. So this vampire is attacking a child, and the child here is of course very I don't know, innocent and peaceful, and she's not judgmental, so she's not afraid of this beast, literal beast. But you can see that this vampire is like hitting the wall with this child. So maybe there's a story behind this, because as far as I could check this deck, there were several stories appearing. So most of them was, of course, general vampire lore, and there were others which was directly from Interview with the Vampire, so there might be a vampire story behind this. But this one is hitting a wall with this. It's literally taming the beast. Okay, let's see the Decameron and the Strength card here. Well, Well, there is strength in a way that this is a military person, this is a soldier. You can see it on the clothes, but the woman also has control over the sword, so she can end this situation anytime she wants. She can put this away if she wants to go on, and she can stab this man as soon as he is not respecting her. So this is the strength of the woman on the card. Yeah, you can just feel this. She is absolutely in control. Very nice. Good for her. And let's see our last card. This is the Sexual Magic Tarot, where this woman is taming a hog. I'm trying to see the sexuality here, but usually these cards are very, very straightforward. So this is not about animal sex. Don't misunderstand this, but this is taming the animalistic side. I don't see it as very sexual, but it's really like trying to tell the hog that please don't drink from that water because that might be poisonous or bad for you. This is more about a very worried owner of this hog. But I know, of course, there might be some sexual energies taming this very animalistic energy, but that's it. I think that's it. So thank you for being here. See you at the next video. I hope you have a nice day. Bye.